Hello and welcome to KNXperience 2023. Also welcome to our presentation here from Theben. So, my name is Christoph Kindle. I work for Theben in the training department. So what do I have for you within the next 20 minutes? I would like to give you some very interesting information about KNX media coupler, about KNX RF, but also data secure and products which are available. Let me start. So in ETS5 you had already the possibility to set up RF environments. This is getting more and more popular and also important. It was pretty simple. You just added here to your existing TP area line an additional RF line, and that was it. Very easy to implement. So how does it look in real? So you have, as I've already mentioned, a standard KNX line. Power supply, several devices, all with unique physical addresses, fine. But now you would like to expand that installation. You would like to add an additional room, building part or whatever to it, but unfortunately there is no green cable to it, or it's very expensive to put the green cable into the building. So the only option is to get it under KNX control to implement that via RF. What is needed on the left side, media coupler, but also for sure several KNX devices. And now the question is, how do you connect that RF line, which will be line 2.2, to the existing line? Is that the right way to do it? Can you really connect your media coupler direct to the existing line? Probably it might work, but no guarantee. But what's definitely true is that you are breaking the topology rules of KNX. So it's not, to be honest, not a valid solution. So it's not allowed to connect a line 1.2 under a line 1.1. So what other options do you have? So definitely you need a line which on top of it, so a main line. So you need the line 1.0 in this case, and you have to connect also the existing TP line to that line via a line coupler. Unfortunately, to get this line 1.0 up and running, you need an additional power supply, probably also an IP interface. So you have additional costs, you have additional effort, but this is definitely a valid solution for such kind of a request. So if you have a different topology, so for example, you have here an existing line 1.1, but also you have here an existing line 1.2, both of type TP, and you have already designed in your KNX environment that the main line is of the type IP. So each line is with an IP KNX, with a KNX IP router is connected to via IP. Makes sense, could be done, everything nice. But now you have here exactly the same request that you would like to add a media coupler to it. So, as we have learned, it's not allowed to directly connect the media coupler to that existing line. But you also cannot connect it to the main line because it needs TP. It has TP connector. So what is the option? And it's pretty difficult. So in this case, you cannot add an additional RF line to it. And now with ETS6, they have here invented a new solution to address exactly those kind of issues. So in ETS6, it's now allowed to set up segment coupling. That means that you can add within an existing line an additional segment. And within that segment, you add the media coupler. The media coupler will then not longer work as a line coupler. As you can see, it has just a standard physical address from the existing line, but also all the other actuators which are within that RF segment will also get just a valid physical address from the existing TP line. Yeah, very important. That's the idea. And so you do not have to build an own line for your RF environment. That's the really very interesting new feature. And that really helps you to solve those kind of issues what you have here. So now with the segment coupling only supported in ETS6, you just add your media coupler directly to the existing line. It will just get a free physical address from that line, and you add additional devices to it, and that's it. So topology is fine, everything is fine, looks great, will work. I think that's nice. I will just show it how to do that in ETS. So you can just go to your TP line and say here add segment, and if you add a segment, then you can just define the name of the segment and it will get a segment. That's exactly what I have here. That's my RF segment which I have built to it, and the media coupler, and also here within that segment I also have here several devices added to it. That's how it looks like. So all the devices which I installed, I have here in the same line in KNX. So now I have a second topic for you, and that's also pretty important, especially when we are talking about RF. You know, RF, you are sending your KNX telegram via the air, via electromagnetic signals. And you cannot control who can really hear and read those kind of signals, those kind of telegrams. And if they are not encrypted, then it's really like an open interface to your existing KNX line. And that's pretty critical. And that's also the reason why I really very strongly recommend always run a RF environment with KNX Secure data, so that all the telegrams within that environment is encrypted. But also, as you know from ETS5, which also support KNX Data Secure, if you have a mixture of devices in your environment supporting Data Secure and devices which are a bit older, do not support Data Secure, then if you assign a group address to multiple of these different devices, then the group address will always be sent or communicated unsecure. And then again, in this case, you have on the RF line also unsecure telegram. And that's pretty bad. So what you would like to do, you would always like to run, because in your RF line, that's what I recommended, to have just devices here installed which are supporting Data Secure. That you run your complete RF line with Secure, but also if you assign some group addresses to devices on the TP line which do not support yet Data Secure, then the media coupler is now able to convert secure telegrams into unsecure and vice versa. So that helps you to always ensure that your telegrams are securely transmitted on the RF line. Very, very important. Otherwise, you might have some security issues. So, how can you see which telegrams are transmitted in a secure way and which one are unsecure? Also here, I just look into my ETS, and when I'm just looking into the media coupler, right mouse button in the preview filter table, then you can see, for example, here are some telegrams, switching telegrams, but when I'm looking now on the RF part, then you can see here that this telegram 1.1.12 will be converted from secure to unsecure and vice versa. So, and why is it necessary? Therefore, I will just now have a short look into my environment here. So I have here an RF case with all the RF devices, and here I have our demo case, our training case also, which you can order from Theben, which we are also selling to schools and so on. So I have implemented here a command, just that's a normal switch on, switch off, and with the second command I'm switching on here that light. You can see, and the feedback of this light I will send back to an unsecure device. And that's the reason why one group address is just transmitted in a secure way, because the ion which I'm using here and that switching actuator I have here are both secure devices. So the command is fully sent via in a secure mode, and the feedback I'm getting from here will be sent back to the other light that's unsecure. And that's exactly the reason why I have here why this group address must be converted. But also, what I would like to show you in here, when I'm just looking in the diagnosis, you can see here the commands I'm sending. I send here the local, that's on, that's off, that's local unsecure. But also now here you can see the blue, which has been sent as data secure, and the feedback is unsecure. But we are still on the same project, and so ETS will decrypt me that secure telegram. But you can say, okay, in the ETS it's pretty obvious. Why is it really sure that that telegram is decrypted? I will just show you. I will stop now. Here my diagnosis, my group monitor in this project, and I have here just a project running in here. And now, this project does not know about any of the topologies and it does not have any keys from it. And so when I send now on and off, that's because it's not encrypted, so it will be visible. And now I'm sending the other command, and that's what you can see here. Now you do not see any longer what kind of command you have sent. You just see the feedback, which is unencrypted because it's a communication between a secure and an unsecure device. I think that's pretty interesting. And if I would have started or running the group monitor in my other original project in parallel, then also in the second it would be encrypted. But anyhow, let me go back to my presentation. So what else do we have? subnet isolation. Third important feature, also important from a security perspective, because you want to ensure, and that's again also very important for RF environments, where you want to ensure that nobody can set or send any broadcast telegram or any directly addressed telegrams to any device and yes, modify something on these devices. And that's what you can do is with that subnet isolation. You are doing that in the media coupler, as you can see here. Just go to subnet automation and say, yes, you have here 3 options. One option is automatic, so ETS will decide on its own. If there is a secure device, then it will run in secure. But you can also say it on, then it's always isolated, or off, it's not isolated, everything will be forwarded. And this is especially important for all broadcast or physical addressed telegrams. Also helps you to make your KNX environment, especially if you have RF environments, more secure. Yeah. What is needed? We already have the media coupler available, but due to some technical reasons, only the latest version of the media coupler, and you can identify that on the label, on the device label here, it's version, if you can read here version 1.1, then this media coupler supports the secure proxy, the segment coupling, but also the subnet isolation. That's important, and these features are only supported in ETS 6. You also have to use then the application for ETS 6 for that device. Very, very important. Unfortunately, I have to say, old media couplers are not able to get upgraded to the new firmware. So that's very important information. So, and now probably you are wondering, okay, where do I get all these KNX data secure devices? There is a huge market, and I just have here a short summary. There are even not all devices listed, which we have right now in our portfolio, which supports KNX Data Secure, where you can see a lot of DIN rail devices, but also TP and RF devices of all kind of functions, switching, dimming, heating, blinds, yes, shadowing, but also we have DALI broadcast devices. We have 1 to 10 volt actuator, DALI interface. Then we have some motion detectors, then also heating actuators, and few other things. So that we already have a huge amount of KNX secure devices. Just have a look into our web page. And the best product I really would like to show here, even if you have installed 10 years ago an old KNX Mix 2 device with the BCU, you can just remove. So this old device you can directly migrate from the old unsecure version to a new one. How does it work? You just disconnect the old BCU from it, you order a new one from Theben and reprogram it and plug it into the device, and now your KNX device is a secure device. There is no other vendor in the market available who can very simply migrate old devices to a new device. So if you have already invested in the past into mixed devices, that's really the easiest way to upgrade the devices. Here just a short overview about devices. I will not go into all the details about switching and switching with current thresholds, 8-volt switching, switching and shading, many other things. But also, yeah, all of these devices are optimized for switching, dimming LEDs with a very high, up to 800 amps in rush for LED switching. That's also very, very important. And here are the extension modules, which you can just plug additionally to the base modules. up to 2 extension modules per base module. Also, they are available also as extension modules. And that's the way how it works. Just, yes, open that plug here and then push it together, connect it, and then done. And even in ETS, it's much easier to configure, to program these devices, because you do not have to assign, yes, central commands to each device, just to the main, to the base module, and that's it. So, and the nice thing is really, that really allows you that you also have now many devices available for DIN rail supporting KNX Data Secure. And this will getting more and more important. And just think about it, even if in your current project you do not need that secure communication. Yeah, you do not know what happens. So you can also run KNX Data Secure devices in a non-secure environment. So why now order still unsecure devices? Now start to use KNX Data Secure devices from Theben, and you are sure for the future. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. I would like to say thanks for your time. Thanks for your interest. Hopefully this was pretty helpful. If you need more information about our products, about our webinars, about recordings, about those kind of topics, just feel free, look on our webpage, come to us. We are happy to see you. Thanks.